What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Mark here with the Better Mark. Let's get into the Tuesday, June 11th, the Major League Baseball betting card. 15 games, a little different than yesterday, only having 7. We had a very profitable day yesterday, going 2-1 within the picks of the day, as well as what we had going down with that system play I played within the no runs first innings, ending up 5-2 out of the 7 games yesterday. So, with the exception of that first pitch fastball that Gunnar Henderson took over the center field wall in the Baltimore game, I thought that was going to be a very, very strong bet. And not the best way to start off when you take the first pitch of all 7 games. That was from yesterday, and it went sailing over the farthest part in the ballpark. But still cash 5-2 within those nrfis, and then 2-1 within the picks that I gave out, the 3 best bets. So let's get into what's going on in this card. Full disclosure, it's a weird kind of situation for me. I don't find a lot of these matchups are interleague play games. For me, I just don't see a lot of, I guess, data points to go off of. And so I'm going to have a smaller card today. I'm only having the 3 best bets. There's only 3 things that I'm putting my money down in betting. So I'm going to give you guys kind of a quick rundown, and then give you those 3 plays at the end of this video. So let's get into it. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Hop on over to the Discord if you have not yet done so. Links are down below in the description, and that's where you can find a very good community that's building right there. Totally free to get involved with that. Okay, but let's get into it. Here is the odds jam. First game up, we will have the Braves and Orioles. Max Fried going against one of the Orioles' kind of better pitchers that's kind of going on the radar, Albert Suarez, 2-0, 1.83 ERA. This is where you can find the Birds plus 125 going against an Atlanta Braves team. But Max Fried has been the one shining light for the Atlanta Braves. Something where you look at the Orioles and their lineup, they can really pretty much beat anybody on any given day, regardless of who's pitching. They're just kind of a couple starters away from, and bullpen for that matter is something else to improve upon. Definitely going to be buyers at the trade deadline, I think. So for me, it's going to be Orioles or nothing. I'm just going to pass on this because I just don't really like betting against Max Fried on this season, the way things currently sit. Okay. Next one is Mitchell Parker, Kenta Maeda, the Washington Nationals and Detroit Tigers. This one almost made my card. I really wanted to lay the Nationals right here. Plus 102 price on the road. Just kind of more of a fade against Kenta Maeda and the Tigers lineup. This is a good spot if you're looking for a nrfi. A lot of these games are, especially with these kind of interleague matchups where you don't really see these pitchers multiple times throughout the season. So unless there's some past history, I look for interleague matchups, and that's kind of why I did that system play yesterday as a very strong kind of data point within kind of not having any data points. So that's why I was all over those nrfis yesterday. Okay, but no play for me in this contest. If anything, it would be Nationals on a money line. Next game is the Cubs and Rays. All right, so we saw Baltimore get the best of Tampa yesterday in that matchup, and this is something where you look at Jameson Taillon, one of my kind of favorite pitchers on the Cubs on their in their rotation. However, when we look at this game and you look at some of his recent stats, the stat line, his ERA is starting to climb a little bit. 3-2 now on the season. Definitely trending away from Taillon in this matchup. For me, I have a strong lean towards the Rays. However, they did drop quite a few games in a row. So they're trending in the wrong direction as well. So, excuse me, I am going to be staying away from the Rays in this matchup as much as I would love to bet them. Okay. Then we will have a play in this Guardians-Reds game. I'm going against the Cleveland Indians within this matchup. Quite frankly, it's just more of a fade off Tristan McKenzie. We have an interleague spot in the Reds lineup. They play each other every year. They've faced McKenzie in the past, whether or not how many players are back from last year or the year before, or any of those prior ball clubs. I just don't like the way McKenzie's leaving his fastball up. I've watched that pretty regularly. So it doesn't really matter what team you're on in the major league ranks. If you can't hit a 95 to 98 mile per hour fastball above the belt when you know it's coming, that's more of an issue than McKenzie having a 2-3 record and 4.16 ERA. So this is a playoff of the Reds. The Reds have been hot. Let's look for the Reds to stay hot. I'm going to take them at a plus 115 money line price in this matchup. All right. Now, next one is Phillies and Reds. Zach Wheeler, Cutter Crawford. I really wanted to take the over in this matchup. I just didn't because I can't per se bet against Zach Wheeler. We can find 7.5s out there in the market. There's something with the Phillies on the road. It's a little bit of a different of a split, 45-20 on the season. But if you look at them on the road, those numbers start to shift a little bit downward. The Red Sox are dead 500, 33-33 on the season, and then we got Cutter Crawford going for the Red Sox. Not really truly in favor of this money line. If I was going to do a money line parlay of the day, which I'm staying away from, it would definitely have Philadelphia in the ranks, but I am going to stay away from that. All right. But if I did play the game, like I said, it would be towards the over 7.5 minus 128. So that was a very strong lean. Almost made my card, but didn't. Marlins, Mets, Jesus Luzardo going against Tyler McGill. Would be a fade against Jesus Luzardo. Also, I do like taking the no-run first inning in this bet as well. This is one of the ones that jumped off at the page at me. You might see too much juice within the Phillies, Red Sox. So Marlins, Mets, that's a nrfi candidate for me. But I'm not going to bet this one. I think that the Mets coming back from London, same thing goes for the Phillies. Things can get just a little weird. All right, they had a day off yesterday to kind of recalibrate. How sluggish are they going to be out of the gate? So I'm going to stay away from Marlins, Mets. If anything, I would lean towards taking a little bit of Marlins plus 155 just because of that layover, possibly from coming back from the UK. A little different than just going west to east in the United States when you have some of that jet lag. But on the other hand, the Mets are able to come home. And same thing really for Boston. Phillies traveling to Boston is really not that far of a trek after having that long flight home, which is kind of surprising to me, to be honest, because you think if the Major League Baseball wants to do these marketing expeditions overseas and kind of expand the game of baseball, you think they'd give the Phillies a home game, their next game back in town, but to each their own. So, but that's where we're at within that game. The Rockies, Twins, Cal Quantrill, Louis Varland. Another game where it almost made the card as a nrfi candidate. But for me, it's Rockies or nothing. Plus 182 on the money line. Louis Varland on the bump for the Twins. However, it's just kind of a weird spot. It doesn't make any sense to me. And like I said, a lot of these games, you're getting some really crazy interleague matchups like the Twins and the Rockies. That's not really a World Series matchup on paper, if you know what I mean. So for me, this is something where I think you got to fade the young Louis Varland, and I look for potentially the Rockies to really kind of have this plus 182 price firmly in their favor. I think this is something where it jumps off at the page of me as a little bit of a weird number. I don't know why the money line is so high. Quite frankly, that's just kind of where I'm at. This is Rockies money line or nothing. All right, but if you want to do a little sprinkle on a plus 182 money line, maybe stack some units, go for it. But this is just something, like I said, a lot of these games, interleague play, I'm going to stay away from this one. All right, next one, Paul Skeens, Miles Mikolas. This is a complete opposite play that you're going to probably think I'm crazy. Excuse me, I really need my coffee this morning. It's kind of one of those days. All right, but Paul Skeens has been absolutely fantastic. Not really going deep into games. 5 innings. I think he went 4 maybe once and 6. So a little bit of a shorter leash on Skeens. But by all accounts, 3-0, 3.00 ERA. Love the fastball. Great action with what he does when he can really throw hard in tight spots. And just for a young pitcher, he definitely checks all the boxes and has all the tools available. But this is something where Miles Mikolas and the St. Louis Cardinals, I'm going to just kind of do a playoff of, just kind of the veterans that we got there in St. Louis. We kind of saw this a little bit with the Dodgers and, Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt and company. I just have this weird feeling that St. Louis is going to get to them at home. And I know I got a lot of St. Louis subscribers out there that are just like, don't bet St. Louis at home. They stink. But I'm going to take the Cardinals, plus 123 on the money line. We're going to take them full game. Also, like I said, the bullpen for the Pirates, we all know how fun that can be. So just kind of go with the home team at a plus price and fading the rookie. And that's kind of where I'm at. So that'll be a second official play that I'll have to go alongside that Cincinnati money line. All right, so all three of my official plays, we're going to kind of go a little different today. Traditionally, I'm more of a guy that goes out there and seeks money line prices under $1.50. That's kind of my strategy for the most part, more kind of where I lean towards. But today, it's just seeming like we might need to change it up a bit and look for those plus money values because, like I said, interleague play, it just kind of shifts the game a little bit. All right, Marcus Stroman, Brady Singer, Yankees, Royals, next game up. We are going to stay away from this game, but I would lean towards taking the over. Just something about the Yankees, man. They could score 5+ runs on any given night, and the Royals could definitely get me 3. So we would be firmly in regard close to this, and the odds makers kind of agree. They have the number set at 9, and on paper you're saying, oh, Brady Singer, Marcus Stroman. So we got arguably the number 2 for the Royals and the number 2 going for the Yankees on the season, and by all accounts that's up to be a great pitching matchup. But why are we setting this total at 9.5? Well, there you go. So obviously there's something to be said about the over in that game, but no official play for me. Also another NRFI candidate as well. All right, UC Kikuchi and Carlos Rodriguez, Blue Jays and Brewers. Apologies for laughing, but that name just came out a little bit strange for me. This is one where we're going to stay away from this one as well. It's Brewers or nothing, but I'm not sure what they're doing. If Carlos Rodriguez, if they're staffing the game, they called somebody up. But like I said, another interleague game that just really isn't going to be easy for anybody to handicap. And I think that's why you see a lot of even value betting splits within the money line. A lot of these teams are, basically coin flips. So staying away from this one. I cross this one off. All right. Jose Suarez, Jordan Montgomery, and the Angels and Diamondbacks game. For me, this would be a surefire over. If any of these teams had any kind of consistency with hitting the baseball. Over 8.5, almost made my card. It's a juicy 8.5, but I still like it. And I would also lean towards taking the Diamondbacks at home on the money line. Okay, and this is just a little bit outside my price range at that minus 154, but great dance partner if you want to get behind within taking the Diamondbacks in a parlay. Okay, so for me, it's going to be over 8.5 or nothing, but no play for me. Like I said, I already told you guys 3 plays for me, and we are getting closer to that wrap up. Okay, 4 games left. J.P. Sears and Randy Vasquez for the Padres. This is one where we were all over the Padres. 6-1, I think they won yesterday. So a game where I thought the Padres had a great spot. And this is kind of the same story, okay? But in this matchup, I kind of like for the fact that Randy Vasquez has kind of been getting hit around a little bit. And same thing goes for J.P. Sears, okay? So for the Padres, it's Padres again on the money line. But I think this over 8 is really jumping off the page at me. I think there's going to be a lot of runs in this game. Just my 2 cents, but not officially playing this as well. All right, and then we will get to these last 3 games. I'll save my final play to the last game, so we're going to skip over that White Sox-Mariners game and go into Stros and Giants, Ronel Blanco and Jordan Hicks. This is a weird spot, really, if you want to look at the total, 7.5. That's a little bit too low for me, but with all accounts, the Astros on the road tend to put up a little less numbers. They have been kind of breaking out a bit as of recent. And we look at that game we have going on out in Oracle Park. Something where it's kind of a weird spot, too, for the Giants. Like I said, it's interleague play. I know the Astros just came over a while ago, but this is a whole different roster. So for me, this is plus 102, minus 102. So it's really hard for me not to take Ronel Blanco or the Astros in any account, right, at full strength, basically even money. So that's something where, like, once again, if you want to take that minus 102, go for it. This is a NRFI candidate as well. I like the fact that they're in Oracle Park. It's a little bit different feel. And a lot of these teams too, it's just a crazy way that they set up these schedules, right? Very hard, I think, to travel for a lot of these clubs in regard to just flights and back and forth, and that lifestyle is just definitely crazy. A lot more crazy in baseball, I think, than any other sport. Okay, so that's kind of what we have going on in this matchup. Nrfi candidate, Astros or nothing for me in this game. Dodgers, Rangers, no pitcher yet announced for the Rangers. I'm staying away from it. Too much of a price to -259 on the Dodgers with James Paxton going. We're already seeing that spread -2. We're getting into that territory where, taking the Rangers +2 on the run line, -130 is probably the glaring pick. But all things can change once they announce who they're throwing, okay? But the last game that we will have an official play in is the Mariners. We're going to be taking them on the run line -1.5 with Brian Wu, +100. All right, so another plus money price where we can find Brian Wu has had an outstanding season thus far, 3-0, 1.07 ERA. I firmly look for this to be a Nrfi as well, just depending on Drew Thorpe, what happens with that. If we're going to break this one down, I just don't see the Mariners giving up more than 2 runs. And I think they'll be able to get at least 4 scratched across for the White Sox. So the only problem with the Mariners and my betting them is that sometimes they have the ability to not score runs. So they can get into 1-0, 2-0, 3-2, like real low scoring sub-5 games. And that's something where I definitely factor into my handicaps. But against the White Sox and who they're rolling out on the mound on the West Coast, I'm still just going to back the Mariners in this spot, like Brian Wu on the bump. So just a quick recap. Those are my official plays. I hope you guys all had a great Monday. We're able to smash the Florida Panthers yesterday on the tickets. We had that. A little bit of a stressful sweat we had going with the under. We had the under 5.5 goals as well. So it was a very, very strong Monday evening within the NHL. And now that season turns a little bit with a 2-0 Florida lead. So it'll be interesting to see what happens within that. Kind of a buzzkill, seeing the Celtics go up 2-0, seeing Florida go up 2-0. And it's just been something where I don't want to say it's under-delivered, but definitely from a fan perspective, cashing tickets is great, but I'd love to see both of these finals championships go 7 games, at least 6. So that's just where I'm at with that. There's a quick recap. Seattle on the run line, Cincinnati money line, and the St. Louis Cardinals money line. So 3 plays, nothing fancy. Like I said, a lot of interleague games going on. I'm not going to force bets. I gave you guys a lot of leans. But these are the only 3 picks that I will be betting. So you can take my leans, do with them as you wish. But this is where I'm at in my head, and as well as my my wallet for this Tuesday, June 11th, Major League Baseball betting slate. So appreciate you guys watching. As always, appreciate my channel members, and make sure you guys all subscribe on your way out. Smash that like button, and please hop on over to the Discord. We'll be talking over there live. Pretty much all day as we await first pitch and a lot of these games to top off. So thanks again. Good luck with your picks, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow. Cheers.